Hi there, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the White Bull campaign. I'm Jeff Richard, and I will be your game master tonight. Last session, we had encountered the Dragon Chamber, and I just want to kind of go back to a summary of where we were because it's been a week, and also. I find as a game master, stuff that I describe at the end of a session, I always conclude I did a lame-ass job describing it. And so I always want to have that second opportunity to give a little bit more useful information. But if you remember, you guys got into the chamber that the dark water woman said Argrath was in. And I'm going to there was Argrath in the chamber. I'm going to give a little bit better description of what this. He seems to be lost in meditation or thought and is covered in some sort of green stringy ropes or green stringy entangling material. He's taking no action. What is that? What is the silly string, right? So imagine super sticky, super tough silly string that's been sprayed all over Argrath in there. And when you guys came into the chamber, the water boiled up, and there was a dragon that pretty much challenged you all for what are you doing here. And I think the version I gave was that the dragon that you all are to leave, so that Argrath is capable of ascending or achieving draconic consciousness or something along that line. I think it's probably a little bit more basic what the dragon said, because I was thinking about it going, God, that's pretty complex stuff to be communicating at a 25% old wormish skill. I think it's probably much more likely that what the dragon said is that you all are ties that bind him. And these ties that you all are petty things that bind this one to your miserable existence, because it's this dragon is filled with contempt for you all. And I will also say that the dragon adds that this one has failed to free himself of such entanglements, as you can see, gesturing as only an entity with no arms or legs can gesture. Okay, well, maybe he has like a fin. He has a fin or something.
Sort of nods with the head.
Gestures at Argrath, entangled in this green ropey gum that covers and encompasses him and holds him completely bound. And no, there is no sign of his trickster. Of course, that's probably not all that surprising. So with that, if I recall, you all insisted that the dragon free Argrath, or something along that line.
We're still in peaceful negotiations.
Yeah, we sort of insisted or kindly asked if we could speak to him or make contact with him in any way.
You did, other than agree absolutely to the dragon's wisdom of this and the futility of your actions. Correct? You had a point of view other than the dragons, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty much all the same thing.
Totally different.
That's pretty much well the same thing as.
Even we try to be peaceful, we get in fights.
Well, this dragon, I just want to kind of point out,
He's bored.
this
He's
not.
dragon is kind of a jerk compared to your worm friend. And with that, the dragon dives back down into the water. But it's pretty clear that the dragon is preparing, has dived down under the water and is preparing for something.
We too.
So that's where I would like to start things. So we're in this cavern. You're on your boat. Keep in mind,
we're
you
just
have
inside, right?
you're
we're
just
just-
inside. You got yourself over. The problem is you can't really back up very easily because of that submerged barrier. It's going to take you a round to get it over the barrier.
Is there no way of kind of leaping to a rocky? Is there any kind of
There's the
solid
barrier
land or
itself,
anything
right?
in there?
There's the barrier itself.
Stand on the
Anything-
barrier, right?
Right. So, and is there anything beyond that?
Well, the water where we came
Presumably-
from.
Yeah, presumably where Argrath
It was
is suspended.
he showed it was a circle with a basically a dotted barrier at each entrance. And the
Yeah.
barrier is like a curve at the entrance of the mouth of the thing.
I think he said it was the domed stone mound grotto.
Yes.
That's correct.
So let me get a quick depiction of the chamber, and unfortunately, it's just going to take me a moment because I have to.
And while you're
I have it
looking
open,
for
I
it,
can show you, Jack.
I have also an idea.
Mhm.
Oh, let's hear it.
I have an idea. I mean, couldn't we define? I mean, so the dragon was diving down into the water, right?
Yeah, it's in the water.
The water is some kind of a wet grave, isn't it? Can you define
Probably
that?
not
like?
for water dragon.
Maybe for you. I mean, so
Yeah, but if I believe in it, maybe it can be for him
yeah,
also a kind
I'm
of
not
grave.
stopping. Yeah, you
Because
can
if I bless his grave, and he would
look at the
stay
time on that
there.
spell,
But
though. Our problem is he's
any
going to
kind
come jumping out.
is there any kind of rune magic that could freeze the water with this getting it stuck in there?
Yes.
Do we have access to any of said spells?
In theory, I could learn it. I don't know it. I
Okay.
have to go
How
visit my
how
friends
quickly can you
friends
learn
to
it?
the north, and we've never
Okay.
gone there. But
Yeah,
it's certainly
that's-
weather magic.
I believe I am screen sharing right now.
You are screen
Yes.
sharing, yes.
This is what that is like.
And where are we in terms of that, Jeff? Which one?
We're actually one of
You've
the
come over
sides.
one of these side submerged stone barriers.
Hmm?
This is a water-filled cavern. And Argrath is in the middle of the chamber. And the dragon went under the water somewhere around here.
And is he like floating on the water, or is there a rock where he's on? Or?
He is floating on the water,
With green goop around him.
tangled up in green silly string.
Hmm.
Is he dead?
Well, you're not over there.
You're hopeful, though, aren't you?
But I could feel it. I'm pretty sure if he's dead or not.
can see his
You're
spirit.
a good 10 plus meters away. There is there are spirits around Argrath, including Argrath's own spirit. There is the powerful spirit of the dragon, which is under the water. And at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to
sonar.
refill my glass. I'd like to keep this on. And when I return, I better know what you guys are doing. So I'm going to give you guys an artificially long opportunity to
The
figure
dragon's
out your
preparing.
plan.
We should cast our spells. You can talk your plans, but cast your spells as well.
Okie dokie. I'm casting my usuals.
Okay.
Question is what kind of spells?
Well, defense. I'm casting buffs, defensive ones first.
Yeah.
How long does it take for the dragon to attack? Because that sort of determines how many spells we can.
That's the mean thing about this. I'm not telling.
Okay.
It's underwater.
But and Carla can see where it is, right?
Yeah, I see. I see the
She can
spirit.
tell us
It
what
can
it's
move in one.
doing.
It can probably leap us in one round, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It is fast moving, and underwater it has a movement of it can move in the water as fast as you all can move on the land.
Okay. That's
Actually, slightly faster.
I was just going to say that's not super fast, but
Well, in a chamber you saw my let me
yeah, it's not a very big chamber. That's true.
pull this up again. So if you look at this, you're about maybe if Argrath is here and you guys are here, how long do you think it takes for any of you guys to get
10 meters.
yeah,
Running from
not long at all. A
second
strike
or
range.
two. Yeah.
I will try to feel out to the dead people which are all died in this chamber before.
Hey, Garen, can you protect the group here?
Be right
I think
back.
I'm going to go above. I'm going to fly up to see if I can distract it that way.
Yes, I mean I'm.
And then
That's
we
what
can
I'm
have
for.
two flanks.
Yeah. I mean, I was planning on jumping on the dragon's back when it emerged from the water, but I suppose I can stay here.
You were going to jump on the what?
I was going to jump on the dragon's back.
Well, once the dragon starts attacking, it's a different story, right? I just want you
well, I
now
mean, you know.
when it comes
Okay.
out to hit it. You know, we don't know when. There's no plan beyond that. We're frigate or lefty, right? But cast your defensive spells, rune magic, whatever you think you need that you can.
Yeah, I've got.
How many spells? How many spells?
Well,
do
just
we
think
get
of
to
it.
cast?
Well, you can probably cast one around per creature, and just decide which ones you want to cast. And Jeff will come back and tell us how many.
Okay.
That includes rune spells, by the way. Rune spell counts as a spell you casting around.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to decide if that's one I want to cast or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should do breathe air now or if I get into a situation where I really need it.
Probably the first thing you want to.
Can I ask something? Does anybody knows if actually a very, 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 very super powerful person died in this chamber here?
No idea.
Because that would be cool to resurrect and fight for us.
Remember how? Yeah, you could definitely try. I mean, it doesn't, but we won't know that.
Yeah, did we hear, Jeff, did we maybe hear any rumors what super, super, super powerful people died in this chamber?
I've given you basically, you are unaware of the existence of this chamber until, I think about 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I feel out to the dead people here in the chamber. I don't know how I do that, but you know that I did this before, preparing and so on.
I mean, you can try to roll against a rune. It's going to be very vague information here, but maybe if you roll against a particular rune, you might get some sort of insight or hint, but that's all it's going to be.
But looking at the spirits in here, are the spirits that seem hostile to the dragon?
They are the spirits that are in this room. There's the dragon itself. There's the spirits around Argrath.
But those are friendly towards Argrath. Do I recognize them?
Or they could be the ones
before?
that are controlling them. They're binding them.
Yeah, or they could be followers.
I'm not going to give you that. Okay. Keep in mind.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask for information from what you see, it's going to be quick glimpses because you have about this. I'm going to count it out. 1, 2.
Okay, I try to shield Argrath. I will try to how with what spell would I do it to fight maybe the spirits which are around Argrath?
Well,
would it be a spirit screen? No, not spirit screen. What do I use for that?
You're gonna try to deal with the
to shield him from unfriendly spirits.
Well, you have a spirit magic spell called Spirit Screen that would help him in spirit if he's in spirit combat. But as far as you can tell, nobody is in spirit combat right now.
Okay. Okay, then I reach out to the dead people. You know that I did this ritual when we entered the puzzle canal to get a
Yep.
feeling for everybody, and this is what I'm now using. I reach out to them, the ones who died here. And I will use my death rune for that.
Okay. I want to have everything else before we deal
For the
because
first,
actually
well, just for the first round, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you
I'm gonna
doing, Neil?
I'm flying up into the air. As I fly up, I'm going to cast. Well, my little posse and I are going to cast 3 spells: Blade Sharp,
Okay.
Parry, and Strength. I'm going to worry about rune spells later.
Okay. Colbrast.
Then I will succeed.
Well, we're still standing in this rickety little boat.
Yep.
So I'm going to cast Breathe Water first. And if I still have time, I'll cast Magic Arms. And just for the fun of it, I'll do a level 3 rune spell.
Which
So
is?
that's 3 extra arms.
Okay. That you can do because
And if I still have time, which I won't, but well, we can do that afterwards.
You got next round.
Yep.
is
Garen,
it part of
do you have
the
the
same
clanth
spell?
still?
Do I have
The clanth.
No, it's not part of the same spell, Jeff.
The clanth that you guys took from the dragon knights give you? Did you guys ever give it back to them?
Yeah, we left it. Didn't we leave it at the
Correct.
we
You
never
left
went
it at their
there.
shrine.
Yes,
the
but
Did
soul
we?
shrine?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
but we did have the dragon killer spear or
No,
something.
we had to give it back after
No,
we went
no,
to fight
there's
that
javelin.
dragon.
I still have
The stuff we
javelin.
kept.
His javelin is a dragon
Yeah.
You
killer.
kept
If-
stuff.
No. He wanted
So
to
did
stay.
you.
I
I
told
did
him
not.
he
I
could
would
go
not have
back
kept
to his
anything. That
home,
would be
but he-
dishonorable.
Oh, we
Yeah,
kept.
We made a promise to return the stuff. So anything, I did not keep anything, and I will not have my honor
We did
impugned.
technically go
Darren,
back,
Darren.
and then we
I
left again.
returned the spear, and
My notes
No.
say
the dead guy didn't want it, so I took
Yeah.
it back again.
Yeah, the dead guy was gone. The clanth was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, he didn't care about it, so I thought, okay.
Yeah. I don't. I lost the notes from how that equipment was, like.
I'm pretty
Give it
sure
up,
I didn't
but-
bring anything.
no, you did not. I even have my notes say Garen insisted stuff goes back.
Yeah, he did, but we didn't listen.
But that's always a possibility.
No, but we didn't listen because we kept the big shield. We gave it away to Argrath or something. We
No,
had
we gave the shield to Callier.
the
Yep.
Keller, yes. So we
Oh,
did
so-
keep the stuff.
Where is it now, I wonder? Maybe we should
Darn
go back to Boulder
Darn
and
it.
fetch it. I mean, otherwise anyone could just steal it from there, you know?
But which item was it that went through dragon armor? Was that the
That was a
spear?
clamp that I know you guys gave back to the dragon
Yeah.
Knights because
Yeah.
Garen insisted on it.
But I wrote on my you remember I lost a lot of stuff on my sheet, but something here is dragon killer something on melee weapons. What is that? What's that, a spear or?
There
I
was
think
this.
I think you still have that. In fact, I'm very
Yeah.
sure you do.
Yeah.
Because we got that.
Because Garen was the only one who insisted that he
Yeah.
would not take it after he gave it back.
Yes, so that was the dragon newt clamp.
Yeah.
But there was the stuff from the ghost, which,
and-
if I recall, the ghost was cast away by Gina.
What helm do you have
Yes.
on, Garen?
I
I
have
put into rest.
an iron helm.
Exactly. It's the helm that causes fear. It's silver with rough horsehair. It casts a demoralized spirit matrix in it, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
from
part
the-
of
that
the
is-
grave goods.
That's
of
from the grave.
ghost
Grave.
house.
You're still using it.
Then I forgot to give it back.
Yeah.
That was
all right.
dear.
a genuine
All right.
mistake.
No, there is a.
You just haven't gotten around to it yet, Garen.
Yeah.
There is a
I
one-headed
reckon he forgot he's
spear.
got it on, and everybody else went, "Don't tell him, don't tell him."
Hmm.
Okay.
The,
Okay,
the
Neil.
thing we have is there's a one-headed spear called Chestbreaker that ignores the armor.
And that's probably the one in Carla has.
Okay.
That's the one
Because
Kala
I
has.
have the javelin.
You have the javelin.
So I do have, yeah. So if I cast like fire blade on that one, is that a
Mhm.
3d6 or is it 4d6? I don't remember.
3d6.
Yeah,
3d6.
damage through all armor at the dragon.
It's pretty good.
Sounds good to me.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, so probably was me having the spear because it's one of my best weapons.
You had the
but
spear.
yeah,
I can use it too, but I don't have it. I'm okay.
yeah. I kept forgetting about that one.
Well, it's
Yeah,
only against
it-
dragons, right?
It would
Yeah.
be
It's
really
not
good
good.
if
You've only needed it once.
yeah, it would be really good if we could lure the dragon outside, because throwing a javelin into this cave doesn't make much sense.
Well, it's a big cave, but just back up a little bit
Yeah.
to the you'll probably want to get back to the lip.
Yeah, the problem is, it sort of goes on throwing itself, which inside the cave will probably be pretty difficult. I mean, you can always try, but might
It's
just
magic.
break
It'll work it out.
Okay.
All right. Has everybody cast their spells? I
For
want
round
Claudia.
one, yes, I think.
I want Claudia to make her rune.
What did you cast, Rich? Did you
I
spell?
cast True Sword and Shield.
I rolled a 49 on my death rune.
Oh, and
That's not a problem.
You can't cast them all in one round, Rich. Remember that, right?
It's rune magic. So you're calling on which is the first one you cast?
Definitely True Sword, always.
Okay. So you're calling on Humoct here. There's a
Obviously.
moment where Humoct is present here in your sword. And I would like to do it because we got a lot of rune magic being cast here. Orlanth holds Nisk up. Humoct is brought in. The power of Humoct is in your sword. Anybody else casting rune magic?
I'm
Yes.
casting Sun Dragon magic, which is pretty weird because it hasn't been cast in millennia probably.
Colbrast says something in Old Wormish, strikes a dance pose, and now has 4 arms.
Yeah.
Such a hipster.
It's only taken like 1.5 years.
As long as you're not Neil from the Young Ones, we're fine.
Yep.
It's awesome. In Kala, are you casting any rune magic?
Breathe water, and my fetch casts fire blade on the spear.
Okay, so you're calling it that power of the dark water woman gave you. And now finally, Claudia. Gina, you can tell in here there is a lot. It's not that there's a lot of connection to Tychora Tech here, in terms of bodies down to the bottom or whatever. There's a lot of connection to Humoct here.
Okay.
And
it
that's
has
the
not to
extent
do
of
with Garen. It has to do because
there's some sort of connection with the separator here.
interesting. I tell this Garen.
And with that, we're into round 2.
Garen, here's a lot of connection to Humoct here. This is your field.
That's why I've cast True Sword, and I'm going to be carving some
always-
dragon steaks.
You're always
right.
casting True Sword.
It's the best.
Did you notice that it's easier here than somewhere else? Or
Well, I mean, I just assumed we were in a. I mean, I have more important things to concentrate on than the saturation of magic in the place. There's a battle coming, and I must be ready.
yeah,
The
And we're standing
separator
on a
moves
boat.
in me. The line is here to be drawn, and I shall draw it. You may concern yourself with the affairs of dragons and the concentration of magic in buildings, but I am here to fight and to kill.
Right. Round 2, let's just dive right into this. because this could get ugly. Round 2, the dragon erupts out of the water. The dragon has 3 attacks. I'm just going to let you guys know this, that it can do all 3. It can use its breath weapon. It can bite, and it can hit someone with its tail. It'll do all of that this round. What's your guys' plans of action? Yes, Incola.
I'm gonna cast a web on its mouth.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting and irritating. All right.
Burning all our rune magic. We should probably get everyone else's statement of intent, right?
Yep.
What's the-
Nisk.
Yeah.
Nisk is going to cast. Nisk is going to have his spirit cast shield. And he will continue to move around. And he's going to try and attack to force it to have to face multiple targets.
Oh, so you're going to attack it?
Oh, I think so.
Okay, Cobrast.
Well, I was. So this is the tricky part because it might take too long, but of course, Cobras will know this. I was going to cast Fireblade on all 4 of my sword shield weapons. So the question is, how long does that take?
That's going to definitely take. You can get. Let's see. That's it's a 3-point spell. What's your dex strike range?
4 points.
4 points as well. So you could do 2 of those around.
Okay. Dex strike range is 1.
Can my fetch help
Yeah,
out? Can my
Well,
fetch help out? Casting
You're-
Fireblade on his blades.
it could cast 1 more on it, but it's already casting it on yours.
Fireblade's concentration, so it can only concentrate on
Okay.
Yeah, it actually can only do it on 1. Philip can cast a whole bunch of them as long as he's able to concentrate on them, which of course he can because they're in his hands. Garen?
Shield or no? I'm gonna my next. I mean, it's not a rune spell. I want to cast shield on myself, and I want to cast breathe magic, breathe underwater.
Okay. That you can do because you're not entering into combat. And finally, Gina?
I have a question. What does extinguish exactly does?
It knocks out fires.
So still we have no fires here, so I cannot extinguish anything.
That's it.
However, then you said there's actually a very, very strong connections to Humact here. I mean, I'm maybe because Garen is busy, I'm actually looking for the source of it to maybe increase it.
Okay, so at the end of the round, I'll let you roll your death rune again.
Yeah. I want to know what it's a sign, it's a rune here engraved, or what is it? What makes actually the connection so strong? Maybe we can increase it.
Okay. I think that gives me enough to go on. So we're going to start in. Strike rank 1 is going to be a whammy of stuff. It vomits out green sticky string at one of you all. Meanwhile, at the same time, Inkala casts web. So, oh no!
Oh my.
Well, that was
Okay,
surprising.
going cast.
Well, you did roll a d5.
I did roll a d5. I know who it hit. Inkala, did you cast?
Yes, I
Oh,
rolled a
sorry,
12.
I thought that was your attack. Sorry.
It's on my darkness room, but I rolled a 12, so that's a success.
Okay.
And it's not a special.
Number 4 is Gina, is hit with loads of green sticky goop. It just vomits these.
Yeah, I try to dance away.
Well, I think the only thing I would let you do is dodge away.
But I'm
Or
better
you could
dancing.
strike a pose, and at the very least, the green sticky stuff, you'd look kind of cool. You might have a better chance of at least looking not totally lame with the green sticky stuff over you.
No,
It's
I will
color and
try
it's
to
bright.
dodge. Where's my dodge? Where's my dodge?
You probably don't have one.
No, I have dodge.
What hit?
Where is it?
If I recall, dodge starts at what? What's the starting base of it? I don't have
X
it.
times 2 or something.
It's
X
Dex
times
2.
2.
You rolled that
There
last
it
time,
is.
Claudia. You can have a check against
Dex
it because it's
times
conceded.
2, and I have even a check on it, but I never have time to roll my checks. So Dex times 2 is a 32 I have on dodge, plus my modifier, which is another 10, so I have a 42.
Not bad.
And I rolled a 21.
All right. You managed this big, huge vomit of stringy vines and whatnot. You managed to avoid it. If it had hit you, you have to overcome the strength. I'm going to let you. You're able to see this well enough. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information about how that attack works. You have to overcome the strength of the current amount of stringy goop on you with your strength skill, starting at 20.
Oh, that's nothing. My web is 40.
I have a strength of 10. That is not very appealing.
No.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm really glad
But-
I cast strength on myself first round.
Yeah.
It's now got web cast against its mouth. And next round it can try to break out. Linda, this thing, I'm just going to let you know its strength is 70.
In the mouth?
Hey, but it'll spend the round doing it.
It'll spend
Yeah, it
around
will.
ripping itself out, but it
Yeah.
will be able to. You're basically, this stopped it from doing its most irritating attack for a round. So it will attack the next one of you all. Does anybody attack before strike rank 5?
No, because my spells go off, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think I do. I think I'm on strike rank 4.
Yeah,
Strength
Yeah,
plus dex plus
I'm on
weapon.
strike.
I'm on 5 as well.
Okay, so we have 3.
I disappear on strike rank 1.
But did you go
Yeah.
invisible?
I did
Dark
as
Lock?
well. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm on strike rank 4.
I think I'm on strike rank 6 for the next one. The one-handed spear starts with strike rank 0? Or to add?
Spears are really fast, so it'll probably
Yeah.
be 0 plus your strength and your dex.
No, that's for a long spear. A
Oh,
one-handed
then 5.
spear.
Then it'll be one. It'll be. I'll look it up.
I think it's a 2. I think it's the same as a sword. Let me double check.
okay.
So it's
I do have a RuneQuest book that I have not packed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out because I have like I have the rune spell, which is a strike rank 1. And then to add the rest is probably strike rank 7 then if it's a 2-handed.
Well, what do you mean add the rest?
That was my size strike rank and my dex strike rank.
Oh yeah, but your rune spell is also. It depends on magic points you throw at it too, right?
Yeah,
You
so
didn't throw any magic points.
If you don't
in
add
it.
any magic points, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, one-handed spear is strike rank of 2.
okay. Strike rank 7 then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Irritatingly, the dragon leaps into the air towards the position where Nisk was. So it's gonna get a massive minus to try to hit Nisk. Because Nisk has gone invisible in the shadows. Now that doesn't mean that Nisk can't be hit.
Yeah,
but-
they have that as in combat. There's a special deal with this.
Yeah. But it's got a massive minus on its attempts to hit you, which is good because this does a lot of damage.
I'm sure it does.
Okay, invisible.
I'm in the section. I'm just really slowly going through it.
Yes. It's a combat modifier.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's,
trying to
I think
find.
it's the equivalent of.
I can tell you
attack-
what chariots do. It doesn't really help us now.
I believe it's attacking in total darkness. So
Okay. Minus 75.
oh my gosh, it's lame for this thing. Okay. And I rolled a 91, which normally would have been a hit with its bite attack, but it snaps at you. And I just wanted to I want to have you guys worried here. Its bite, if it hits, is 9d6.
Oh my word.
All right. This is not the friendly little dragon that likes to pretend she's a local goddess. This is a much more dangerous thing. And Nisk, you can hear that 9d6 of damage miss you.
Can it? Because his mouth is kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's it can still do it that. That may have been part of the reason it missed so badly. And also at the same time, it tries to smack Garen Godstopper with its tail. So are you trying to parry or anything like that, Garen?
Yep, I'm going to parry. With my large shield. Dun, dun, dun. 19 against 100.
That's a special. That's good because I hit with a special. So basically, countering that out, it does a mere 20 points of damage with its tail. So that knocks your shield down 1. Your shield rating goes down.
Oh no, it may not. He casts shield, right?
Yeah.
If his shield minus his shield spell plus whatever may.
No. But the shield itself is damaged.
Only if he overdoes the damage of the large shield.
Yeah. What is the large shield? What is your large shield? 16?
16.
24. Yeah. Oh, 16. But
Yeah,
subtract
16.
how many points of shield did you cast?
Oh, he suffers no damage.
No, but the shield goes off first before the shield. So if he's got 2 points of shield, it would damage it. But for example, if he casts 6 points, if he cast 3 points of shield, it wouldn't have damaged the shield. That's my point.
You suffer, your shield goes down 1 armor point. And it slaps on this. But because you succeeded on this, more importantly, you're not knocked off the boat.
That does, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really what it's trying to do with the tail lash. Now with this, you guys can try to hit. So who all was physically attacking?
Me.
And
Yeah.
So let's go for it. I'm just going to go all the way down. And let us start with Nisk.
Nisk is going to be the last to attack based on the spells I cast, just to be clear.
Okay, so let's go to Colbrast.
Yeah, I attack.
Actually, can you attack this round? You were casting Fireblade twice.
Yes. So that
Not
would
this
take
the
that would take
whole
9.
round.
Oh, okay.
You have one sword go.
Oh yeah, I only can do 2 things.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's gonna. Well, it's more importantly, it's gonna take up all the time to cast those 2 spells.
Yep. Okay. No problem.
Garen.
Yes. I am going to basically as the tail kind of swings round, I'm going to leap onto its back and plunge my sword into its lack of a spine.
Okay. Roll to see if you hit it. I also know this is rich, so there's like a shockingly good chance we're going to get a 97, 98, 99.
It's one or the
All
other,
right,
right?
all right.
Or a 3.
It was 60 against 102.
All right, so it's a normal hit. Please roll for damage, and remember you roll your weapon damage twice because
Yes,
of
I do.
True Sword.
Just checking what it is. Okie dokie. That is 16 points of damage.
Okay, would you roll 1d10?
I would indeed. That is a 7.
Okay, you hit it in the tail. How much damage do you do?
16 points.
It bled a tiny bit.
Where's the start, guys?
Yeah,
You did 4 hit. You did 4 hit points of damage.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yep.
Nicola. 99. 99.
No, it's not. It's a 59, but it's a regular hit. So
3 ones.
Yeah, the only thing with Firebait, Philip, is you don't get your strength bonus on the damage, I don't think. Is that, or do you?
Correct.
Yeah, you
I
do.
believe so.
No, you do.
Do
It's,
you?
sorry, that's a D&Dism. Forget it. That's a different spell.
Yeah, sorry, you do get
Oh.
it.
Yeah, I think I'll wait with the other two.
17
So
points damage through all armor with the damage modifier.
Okay, would you roll a d20?
The head would be good.
Well,
17.
attack with.
The left front fin. The left front fin. Oh my, such a valuable location.
Well,
But
it would
it's,
probably have something to do with the swimming, though.
it does. 17 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay, and Nisk.
Nisk rolls to be inspired. His patron is here. Argra, he's come for you. I roll a 49, which is success on that. So I'm inspired. That's plus 20, right?
Okay,
I get a bonus because it's basically unaware because he can't not see me.
correct.
I rolled
Oh,
a 0,
he's
9.
That is a special.
It's a critical. My skill is 202.
Holy moly! Please roll for location.
It's 112 plus Blade Sharp, which I cast the first round, plus Strength, plus Inspiration, plus whatever.
Wow.
But I didn't.
Well, and this is, by the way, this is what happens when you have a rune lord. This is the advantage of having a rune lord in the party, isn't it?
So, oh, wrong one. So that's
Power
2.
gamer.
Oh, hardcore power gamer. Okay, sorry. That's location 2. And the damage is 2 plus, let's write that down. 8 and 3. 8, 3, 2. Sorry, never rolled.
Keep
this
in
one.
mind, critical does maximum damage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, does it?
So it's double maximum damage, right?
No. Double max? Well, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
You put the
Okay.
true sword on, right?
But I don't double my spell damage, or do
No. No,
I? Okay.
or your strength damage.
Yeah, I didn't think it was strength. So that is to the that is 20, 18, 24, 26 points.
Now,
And that is to
irritatingly,
location 17, and criticals ignore armor.
all right. This poor dragon. This poor dragon. You
I mean,
go
the one with the
in.
96 mouth. Come on.
Yes, this chops in and it gouges off the other, gouges deep into this. I mean, how much damage do you do?
6
26 through all armor.
armor.
Ouch. That's the depressing part here. Wow. You go in and you gouge into it a gout of green ichor and blood gouges out of it, and the dragon plops down into the water and starts sinking down.
What?
Dive in after it.
Are you diving in after it?
I want to.
Is it dead? Then I could summon it? Can I still do my thing?
Which
I
thing?
was looking.
She was
for
doing her
something.
death thing.
Yes.
Okay, roll against your death ring.
I wanted to see where actually the humac source is. Yes.
At the bottom of the waters.
Okay.
So
Garen,
who's-
at the bottom of the water, there's some strong humac thingy.
and the sea dragon is just kind of sinking down into the water.
I mean, I do want to go in after it, especially if there's something interesting at the bottom. But also, this reminds me very much of Beowulf and Grendel's mother, and I'm not sure I want to get trapped down there. But Garen Godstopper,
you don't have a
Garen
choice,
Godstopper
dude.
can't
No.
read.
You don't have a choice. What was your action last round?
I hacked through its tail.
No. You did what and hacked through its tail?
I used my sword.
And you jumped on it.
Oh yeah, shit.
So Garen is slowly sinking too.
So
Now,
It's very,
Garen,
it's very
Garen, have
hot
you
here.
cast-
It's affecting my memory.
Yeah, it's round 3 here. Garen, are you trying to get off its tail, or do you have the ability to breathe underwater?
I do have. I cast my breathe underwater spell, and I will have heard Gina's impassioned call. So rather than try and kind of jump off, I will. My sword's probably kind of lodged under a scale or something, so I'm going to hold on to it, and as it sinks down, I'm going to see what is at the bottom, where this humacity energy is concentrated.
I want to join Garen. I want to jump in.
I will, by the way, I will try to free Agres.
Excellent, because he's totally entangled in this goop, and so it's going to take a while to cut him free.
Yeah, but keep in mind, I have prepared corpse. Prepared corpse means mummification. So I actually know how to unmummify things.
No, we don't want to mummify our graph.
No,
she-
unmummify.
This is the part of prepare corpse where it's, oh gosh, we wrapped the wrong person.
Yeah. So now that I have 4 arms.
So you got to get the boat over there, though, right?
Yeah, now that you have 4 arms, I can imagine Cobras is kind of going.
I feel a bit stupid standing there with 2
Well, it
flaming
may not be
swords.
over yet. Don't forget.
No,
It may, like you
so I'll
said, it may
just
be
put
coming
away
back.
the 2 normal swords and pole, because now I can, us across our graph. Feels
Excellent.
great. I mean,
Excellent.
at last I can pole again. It's brilliant.
I need to just ponder this through, take a super short break to refill my glass,
Mhm.
and then we'll be back.
Back
All
you
right,
go.
so Garen is holding onto the sinking dragon, which is not, it has a little bit of flailing that kind of slows down, but is sinking down into the water. And you can breathe in the water, right?
Yep.
So you don't need to make a swim roll or anything. You're just holding on to something as it sinks. In Kala, you need to swim.
I'm not really good at swimming though.
I
It's
know,
not
but
mine.
you can fail it and you're still going to sink, but it's kind of more how pathetic
I'm
you
gonna
look.
fly down because my fly still works.
Oh, nice. Yeah, okay. I'll try my swim. But I'll augment my swim with my loyalty to Argrath in this. Because we're doing this for Argrath. So loyalty Argrath, regular success, so it's a plus 20, so then I have 50% in swim.
Add that. You're swimming Praxian.
19. That worked.
Okay, you swam.
Did you subtract the armor?
Huh?
Armor.
Yeah, I only have my Greaves and Vambraces. Okay, how much
Yeah.
do I have to subtract?
You're
subtract for that?
You're okay.
Just remember though, it's like -5 a point or something.
Okay.
So
Right,
I stink like
you-
a stone if it
I
was.
think well.
And meanwhile, Nis goes down with. By the way, Rinlord's obnoxious because he just kind of goes down and there's like water flopping all around it because he's using Orland's air magic to fly around. So I imagine if he uses it to fly down into the water, it's basically like
Probably an explosion or something, like fission sort of thing.
well, yeah, I can't imagine. It's like what happens if you take a high-powered air pump and just kind of shoot it into the water to create a hole that you can move down. So you got basically all this air.
It's not very stealthy, is what you're saying.
It's extraordinarily unstealthy.
You could just have like a 10th thing and go down. You have your own little like air bubble and blow around.
Oh, Orlanth isn't that air bubbly. I imagine it's all filled with gurgling water and whatnot. But you all go down. Now the key question I have, and I'm going to go back to Claudia and Philip in a second, but for our underwater divers, how do you see anything in the down underneath? Because
I have second sight, so I can find
you
the
can see
dragon.
spirits.
Yeah, so I can find the dragon spirit.
But anything else that might be down here, it's black.
We can go. I think we need to get a light.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'll go
Hint,
back to Colbrass
hint.
and ask for a
Yes.
light.
I'm just gonna
Can you put a light on my sword? He's all
Yeah, but
pumped and
it's
excited
like
right now.
is
Yeah.
Just my
fire blade
instincts.
extinguished?
Yes, once you cover it completely in water, it hisses and
So-
sputters and whatnot.
Darn.
Yeah, sure. I can cast light on your sword. no
Okay,
problem.
so we got a lit sword going down below.
Okay, so
Taking me a bit.
they go underwater, and as Colbrast and Gina pull towards Argrath.
Yep.
A voice calls out from the side of the cave, and there's Argrath's trickster. You can clearly see at the side of the cave, and she says, "Thank the gods." She says, actually, more likely, she says, "I had it all under control. I had it all under control." This isn't as embarrassing as it looks.
Okay. So with my 2 flaming swords, I'm probably pretty intimidating at this point, and forearms and stuff like that.
She says she was unaware that you worship the insect spirits, but it's a good look on you.
Yeah, I worship.
Colbrast, you make a good bug.
Okay. Can I roll on intimidate?
Don't
it's
mess with
difficult,
Gorgon.
obviously, with
I give him my
tricksters.
horn of intimidation in the addition.
Okay. What's your intimidate?
Gives you
where
plus
it-
20 on intimidate.
Okay, where is intimidate? I've never used that before.
It's a social skill.
Probably don't have it. Just have a look. Intimidate 15, 25. So that would be 45. Do I get a bonus with 4 arms and burning swords?
I'll give you a situational bonus at plus 15.
Okay, so that's 16.
Exactly.
15.
All right, she's She's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're all on the same side here. We're all on the same side here. Let's free our graph and then let's get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, having sort of been the trickster myself at one point, I sort of tell her, you know, I've been there as well, so I have a very good eye on you, and don't you dare try anything funny.
How about just mildly comic?
Nope.
Bemused?
While you guys discuss, I actually start to entangle Agros.
All right, you're cutting through this. I want to go down below where we have
Cannot
the,
not even sorry Jeff, cannot even roll on my prepare corpse skill or so.
Of course you can roll on your prepare corpse skill.
I mean, unprepared corpse would be the equivalent, or
Just don't,
Unprepared corpse.
by accident, pull out his brain through his nose, if you can help it.
no, I'm not. I'm only doing this in a necropolis with the
Oh.
right environment and incense. Yes.
Wow, so you're able to cut through this. Let's go down below. But you're able to cut our
I wanted to
graph
go
out of the
into
web.
more details. It's now my thing where I can be glorious, and now let's go below.
Only a dead dragon down there. I mean, who cares about a dead dragon?
Okay,
Exactly.
in great detail, you cut the green sticky ropey stuff with your knife and cut it so exactly and
Thank you.
precisely.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Much better.
Someone like us would have cut our graph at the same time, but you don't.
Exactly. His clothes aren't even damaged except by the green goop.
Yes.
All right, down below. I would like you guys are able to see by the light, but it's still difficult. It's not, you're underwater, perceptions are all screwed up. I'd like everybody to make a search or spot hidden roll, not scan.
0-3. Is that good?
Oh, wow.
It's not a critical because my skill sucks. It's a special.
That's still, oh, wow.
Really cool.
Success. Certainly not even close to being a special.
Aaron, you're muted.
Absolute fail.
You're just
70.
enjoying the
You're
joy
just
of
yeah, you're just holding on to the dead corpse of a dragon.
I think I'm overwhelmed with the sensation of being so close to this humanity power that I've no kind of real concept of what's going on.
Oh, and you just killed a dragon, as far as you're concerned.
I am definitely not claiming that. No.
It doesn't matter. You were the one sitting on it while it went down. I mean, you familiar with the song O'Malley's Bar by Nick Cave?
Oh, yeah, the murder boat. Yeah.
There's this bit, it's a certain light, a certain angle. I'm looking good. I'm riding this dragon down to its watery grave. Yeah. The fact that there might be stuff down below might possibly just be purely incidental for Garrett at this point. It's much more me, us to Dragon Zero. Us to Dragon Zero.
I have a nerdy Glorantha joke. Argrath might have had the dragon rise, but I've got the dragon ride. Thank you.
Oh my God!
Here
that was
all week.
painful.
Here all week.
No. Anyways, in Kala, I'll first give what Nisk sees. Nisk, there's clearly coins. There's silver down. You can definitely see that there's silver down here, and a lot of it. And when I mean a lot of it, I mean a lot of silver down below here. A lot. And the other thing down below that you're able to see, yeah, there's a lot of silver, and you can see more wheels than I think you've ever seen at once in your life.
There's no like swords and shields and things.
Well,
bigger things.
you're only able to see the shiny stuff.
Okay.
In
I do have the light
Kala,
though, right? Yeah.
but yeah, but you only got a simple success. In Kala got the
I did.
special. In Kala, you see all of that as well. There are weapons down the bottom here.
Any of them with spirits in them?
There are none with spirits in it.
Is it possible to cast detect magic underwater?
It's possible to cast anything underwater.
I do it right now.
Okay.
28, yes.
There is magic in this treasure pile, but it's a
Yes.
pile of treasure at the bottom of the water.
We'll start sorting through it. We've got, what, 15 minutes of breathe water? I can recast it even. So we got some time.
So what are you gonna do?
Find all the really good stuff first.
There are swords.
Hmm?
There are coins and coins and coins. And but there's, let's see, three swords, and I don't know, more coins than you can count. And looking closely at it, there's copper, there's silver, and there's gold.
Because we only pick the gold coins and
Grab what
pick
we
up the
can
sword.
and haul it up.
Yeah, we just anything, and anything that detects magic is very important. It's more important than anything else.
How much time are you going to spend grabbing all this stuff?
The fight itself didn't take very long, did it? And is it 15 minutes of the
We'll have to
breathe
go back
water?
up for the spell, the light spell, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'd say you have about 10 minutes left on your breathe air spell.
Mhm.
I'll fly up and Garen, do you want to go up or do you want to look? And do you want to cut the head off the dragon, or do you want to see what Argrath says?
Oh.
I'm gonna cut the head off the dragon. I think as a well, I mean, I just think that's our thing now, isn't it?
Maybe still alive.
And
you know.
I also I don't really have any abilities like this, but could I kind of, I don't know, use my death rune or something like that to see if I can sense any particularly powerful swords?
Roll against your death rune. It's similar to what Gina did.
Only just a success, 78 against 85.
These are Humakti swords,
They're all Humakti swords.
which is probably what Gina was sensing.
Right, in that case, I might stop cutting the head off the dragon and start collecting a few of them, given that
There are
if
three.
I'm going to collect all of them and take them up, because they should not, it is a waste of a fine blade for it to be lying here. And clearly these were probably the swords of some brothers of mine
So in Kala,
and sisters.
no,
Yeah.
can we look at your, I'm gonna have to go up for a moment to relight the spell.
Okay.
So I'll fly up and ask Colbrest to light the spell again. Is Argrath conscious?
Argrath appears to be in a deep meditation, but is
Okay.
alive.
All right. We
Okay.
have found treasure down there, and we are tempted to bring back the dragon head as well on the boat.
You think it might also be, be alive and tell us things about dragons?
I have no idea,
What
but my
do you
God,
want
it
to-
would look cool too.
Yeah, but why do we have this dragon head collection now? I don't
Because
know.
First one
Orland,
was really
Orland
useful.
and Aroka, it
Hey.
cements the power.
And Gina,
Yeah. I mean,
how many people do you know that have a dragon head collection
No,
in
actually,
all of Glorantha?
no. I should actually get a special skill for preparing dragon heads.
Well, if it's all right with you all, what it sounds like is in order to figure out how much of the stuff from the bottom you guys are able to take, those people who are gathering coins I want you to make a spot hidden or search roll. And that basically is giving me an idea of how much you're able to find easily.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Gina
if
Colin just-
Argrath is okay, I mean, meditating alive, and Gina is
Well,
breathing, there's no danger here, obvious.
Elusu is of the opinion, let us get out of here fast,
Yeah,
as
just a
soon as
second.
possible.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so we'll give ourselves 5 minutes to
I was
basically
going
do a
to
quick.
cast breathe water and jump down, and because then I have my I can cast light on my necklace, which is really bright, so we'll see quite a lot.
You
So
will
we have
not
someone
let me
more.
alone with Elusu?
Yeah,
Okay.
just watch your back.
Yeah, thank you.
Sounds like a good idea. We can get
I
even
put
more
my
stuff
horn-
up like that.
I put
And
my
you-
horn
Put the horn of intimidation
And you have
on
4
it.
arms.
Just
You can
look at
pick a lot of
I'll-
stuff.
I'll stay up. That's fine. I'll stay
Yeah.
up with you, Gina.
Okay,
If
If you're going to go down there.
Cobras, you have 4 arms. You can pick
And here's,
so
you know,
much
here,
stuff.
Colbrass, take the rope down.
Wow. Yeah.
So
I
we
do
can
have
call
4
it,
arms.
because we want the dragon head as well. And I'll see if I can. I'll see. I'll ask Lucy. Should we wake Argrath or just leave him and bring him with us?
let him wake himself.
Okay.
You freed him. He is unbound. He's
So
unbound.
okay, so I cast breathe water and light on my necklace and jump down with the rope and join the other 2.
All right. So what I want each of you all that are underwater and trying to gather stuff. Garen has already grabbed the 3 swords. Do you care even about the coins, Garen? No, I didn't think so. He's taken the 3 swords up. We'll talk about that in a second. Colbreast and Kala, would you make a search or spot hidden?
Can I augment this with my water rune?
Of course.
And I
Okay,
keep
so-
I keep casting my detect magic because it also runs out every 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, with the magic, you're going to get the 2 items that are not swords that are magical, and that is 2 power crystals.
35.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, search is a success.
Excellent. So what that means is for each pair of arms,
Mhm.
I'm going to let you make the decision. Are you trying to gather silver or are you trying to gather gold?
What would I use silver for? If I
Actually,
have
no, I'm
gold?
going to, it's basically what you're looking for.
Oh, gold is good.
Okay.
Strange magical items are good, but obviously in Carla has already had a look.
Would you roll a D100, Philip?
74.
And would you roll a second D100?
18.
Okay, so that's you managed to pull up 35 wheels.
Ooh. It's okay. I'm gonna put it.
And Kala, did you succeed on your search?
Yeah.
Would you, and are you looking for gold or are you looking for silver?
No, so I did get the 2 magical items too.
Yes.
I'm looking for the wheels because they're easier to carry.
Would you roll a D100?
85 and
Just once.
that.
You
20.
managed to gain, how many wheels did I say you grabbed?
35.
35.
35. You managed to grab 25 wheels in Kala.
You're writing it down, Neil?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 60 wheels in total. That's 60 cattle. That's a big haul plus 2 power crystals and 3 Humakti swords, one of which is decorated and made of, the blade is made of iron.
Ooh.
Might even be prettier than the one you had, Garen.
So the question I have is, are you going to take Alusu's advice and get the heck out of here?
Yeah.
I think so. With an extra person, we only had enough for one person companion on the boat, so I'll fly. But I
Okay.
can't carry the dragon head, so we can't take the dragon head. Much
Guess
as I
you
would
can
like.
stow it away on the boat somewhere.
So
No,
I'm just taking the swords. That's what
I'm not sure
I-
you can. It's
I do
really
have-
big.
I do
can
have one
trail it
option
behind
you
us on
could
the
do with
boat.
the dragon head
What's
that would be pretty obvious to you all. You tied it around in a rope, right?
Yeah, and then
Yep.
tie it to the boat.
Just
and
tow it.
Tow it
You could
along,
tow
yeah.
it.
We'll tow it for now.
I think that lady of the deep waters is gonna be. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I was planning on ambushing
Darn
them when they
it.
come back, but maybe
All right.
I don't.
They don't even look
We'll
harmed.
go into a greater bit of this, but I'm going to give you, just so you guys, we can have the cathartic moment of this as you guys exit the labyrinth. Because you can remember the way you guys marked it all. You didn't get that far in. You're able to exit the labyrinth and see light again, which is probably a pretty nice thing. And go in. You have Argrath, who is coming to. You have Alusu. You're dragging a dragon's head, and you have gathered swords and coins and gained new magic from all of this. So I would consider this to be a pretty big success. And it is possible that some of you all will get a charisma. Who all has not gotten a charisma bonus from doing cool things?
I think I have.
don't
I
think
have a
I
plus
have.
one.
I don't know.
I probably have one.
This is the sort of thing. Now, I'm not going to give it a Nisk because Nisk has already gained a charisma bonus.
This can't get a charisma bonus anyway. It doesn't mean anything.
But I will give a +1 to charisma for all of you who have not gained a charisma bonus from doing a really impressive, flashy quest. You know, all of you guys get to claim that you killed a dragon and rescued Argrath. That is worth a +1 to charisma.
And from this, they just say, yeah, well, obviously, I mean, it's Nick. Of course, he kills a dragon.
This might do
rescues
something to
Argrath.
the reputation, though.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
I cannot remember if I ever got. I mean, looks like that I switched
Add one,
something
Claudia. Don't
else.
worry about it. Add one.
Don't worry about it. I will work out the reputation bonus of this next session when we move forward and hand out rewards from Argrath, etc., and give all of that. But congratulations. That was although it was a fast fight because it was RuneQuest, that was one I was worrying about. Oh gosh, if this goes bad for the party in the first round, this may be the end of the White Bull campaign. Because boy, 9d6.
I mean, if
not
you
good.
hit someone, you know, that will probably go really bad.
I mean, even that tail whack, if I recall.
20 points.
20 odd points, yeah.
Yeah. So there I think this is a good stopping point for tonight because this allows me to think about reputation and other rewards, and we can have the next session take place in Argrath's Palace in New Pavis. So
Sweet.
Thank you all. I hope this was good fun. I had a blast. And tune in next session.
Thank you.